Right. Obviously, a great win for us. We started out a little bit slow with the turnovers, and I think we had 5 turnovers at the first media, and a little bit out of sorts on the offensive end there. But LaSalle had a lot to do with that. They were picking up and pressuring us, and we were a little bit off balance there in retreat mode. Rather than being in attack mode and space the court a little bit better. And so they kind of took us out there for a minute. We began to settle in, and fortunately we made a few shots there early, that gave us a chance to keep going. Then we began to play like we've seen them play before. The defense, the pressure up the court. The offensive rebounding certainly was a factor in the game. The passing, we were getting pretty clean looks, certainly from 3. And you have to make them, and obviously our guys, made them tonight. And, it was overall a really good win.
You have said at points this season that you felt like you guys weren't shooting it as well as you were capable of. Over the last 2 games, what are you doing to get the clean looks from outside consistently to make as many?
Yeah, I think certainly it's coming out of that St. Louis game, we struggled, passing. I think part of it is just passing, and continuing to trust and being shot ready. Certain guys are good at certain shots, like Phil's really good in transition at one pass shots. It's one of his things, right? And we've seen him make it in the Siegel Center, plenty of times. He's made it on the road too. But when you get into half-court offense and things tighten up a little bit, they're harder to come by. They're harder to get. When you offensive rebound like we do, and we need to continue to do that, it gives you a chance to kick it out. This is one of the best times to get what we call a dagger 3. But more than anything, it's just simply getting a piece of the paint, all right, kicking it out, passing it, moving it, and being shot ready when it's time.
Coach Firm said this was more of a you question. These last 2 games having such big leads in the second half, how much does that let you kind of experiment with stuff?
Experiment? No, we're not in experimental mode at this point. It's do what we do, right? We certainly played the zone there for a little bit, and it didn't go very well. During that stretch of the game, I think the first possession was just a 3. We didn't get out on the shooter right away. It's not meant to be a passive defense. And we've been good at it at other times that we've played it, but for whatever reason, in this particular game we weren't. So we had to go back to the man-to-man at the end of the game. But it was a long stretch that those guys had to play. I had to take Bell out at one point and put Jack back in and Joe back in just to be able to get those guys through to the end of the game, because we don't have a lot of options over there, to put in. Obviously, I should have put Obi in a little bit earlier. That was my fault. He should have been out there with, more time to be able to play. But, overall, I think the guys did a nice job.
Are you close to playing your best basketball right now?
Who knows? Who knows? Certainly we want to be playing our best basketball when we get to, to March. But right now we're just trying to string together, game after game and try to, do our best, whether it's at home or on the road, and really focus on these 1-game series, Obviously the next team we're playing twice. And we've got a couple of repeats, or not a couple, but Richmond, I guess, is the only other one. But everything else is a 1-game deal. And, we have to be ready, whether it's at home or on the road.
Congratulations on the win, Coach. In the second half, you had a 19-0 run. Just talk about that run in the second half, pretty much shut the game down at that point, essentially.
Yeah, I think we had a good margin at half, right? And I thought our guys did a really nice job to get it to that point after such a slow start. And then in the second half, right away, they scored a couple of baskets initially, and I think Jones got a few. And then, we started getting stops, and we started, getting it up the court, pretty quickly. And the passing was good. We limited our turnovers. We had 5 like I said, in the first, first media timeout, and to finish with 10, is a really good performance by our guys. And so that means you're getting shots, and then you're having a chance to get on the glass, every time. And certainly 19 offensive rebounds is a really good number.
They're usually a pretty strong rebounding team. The guys said that was an emphasis heading into this one.
Yeah.
25-24 edge on the glass. What was the key to dominating that?
Yeah, I mean, they got some in the first half, offensive rebounds, right? But I thought our guys did a nice job of blocking out and chasing down the rebounds. The 21's tough to block out. Like, he goes after it. He's got really good hands. And I thought Firm, did a really nice job. Luke got a couple as well, chased him down. And, our wings, always do a good job. But we encouraged our guys on the offensive end, in this particular game to really go after it. And, I think our guys did a nice job. Jack just flies through there. When he's on it, he's tough to block out.
Terrence had 13 in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Fats said he plays beyond his years, not the typical freshman. What have you seen from his development?
Yeah, I mean, T. Hill, he's got a wicked handle, right? He's got a beautiful jump shot. And he may not shoot like Steph Curry in terms of the speed in which he shoots. Like, he takes a little bit more time. But you watch him shoot in practice, and he drills them. And when he's working on his own with a coach, just with a coach, and you're rebounding for him, it usually is going in the basket. And those are the kind of people that you want to rebound for, And because you're not chasing it all the time. You guys are supposed to laugh at that, but you're not coaches, so you don't know. It's like I used to rebound for Malcolm Delaney, and I would just go, yeah, this is fun. Net, throw it right back. Net, throw it right back. Yeah, that's just the way you want to do it. But anyway, he's just a really, really good player. And I've said it before, had he been on last year's team, he would have been playing, in the games. And he's in a tough spot, given the depth and veterans at his position. But he's always ready when he gets in there, and the guys know it. They're ready for it too. They can't wait to see him play.
Coach, Brandon is basically all motor.
Yeah.
Is that I didn't watch him at St. Chris, but is that what you saw at St. Chris, and also just what's it been like coaching him? Because he seems like he's that kind of player that everybody.
He's all over the place. Like, Brandon would jump center, at St. Chris. Brandon would guard the other team's best player at key times, and because he'd have to play pretty much the whole game, for them to, have the success that they desired. He would play point guard, and get guys shots, like you saw him get Luke a shot, today, a dunk, and he rebounds, and he'll come out of nowhere and block a shot, and he'll block his own man shot on defense, and he's just a really good player and a winning player. And those two guys in particular, right? You haven't seen Martin play yet, but Martin's gotten so much better. Like, he's so much bigger now than he was. And, he's 6'8". He's athletic. Like, he can handle, can shoot. But those two guards together, we're going to be really good.
44 points in the paint. What did you notice? Was there anything that stood out that was working inside for you guys?
I mean, I think it was a lot of the drives, right? I mean, you saw one where Firm, had the little floater from Phil in the first half, which we have to get him that shot more because he's money with that one. Yeah, I think it was just attacking the paint. Certainly some offensive rebounds and putbacks, but we want to try to punish the paint, when we can.
The ejection on Jones early in the second half, you all had him scoreless in the first. Could kind of tell that frustration was bubbling up. What did you see right there?
Yeah, I have no idea. I didn't see anything, quite honestly. But they just, obviously the refs, made the judgment on it and went back and looked at it. And I guess you just have to respect, what was called there. And they have very strict guidelines, that they have to follow. And so there really is no, I think we should do this or I think we should do that. It's pretty matter of fact when they go in there. So.
Like Phil was holding his head. Maybe is he all right?
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, he's fine. So, to my knowledge, he is. He hasn't said anything or J-Wall hasn't said anything to me yet, but we'll find out, after the fact. I'm pretty sure he's good.
It happened during that 19-0 run. Is that another example of kind of just Phil's gamesmanship and mentality, being able to galvanize the guys around him?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's gamesmanship. I mean, he's not trying to necessarily game the system, but he's a competitive player, right? And do you take it to the edge? Yeah, we all try to take it to the edge. You want to be as aggressive as you can be without getting dinged every time with fouls, right? And that's how he plays. You have to respect how he plays and what he does for our team.
The paint touches, the points in the paint, how much is that, or will that be a point of emphasis going to be?
You talk about offensively for us?
You guys, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always, an emphasis for us, and certainly, I haven't watched them enough to be able to tell you, defensively, where we're trying to attack them just yet. But, we know they're going to be well coached. They're awesome at home and tough on the road too, as you saw at St. Louis, and so they're starting to play, like they were earlier in the season. And part of that, I think, is due to they had some injuries, right? Some guys out, and getting them back now, and getting their younger guys in there. The big guys helped them, and is playing well. But they have really good guards like we do, and good shooters, and Santos, and just good overall talent there. So it's going to be a fun game in a fun environment to be a part of.
Do you have like a goal total each game?
A what?
A goal total, like you want to get as 20 or 30 touches in the paint, something like that?
Not really. I mean, it's just every possession we want to try to get in there, right? I mean, I think different times call for different things. You're in transition. Yeah, we want to try to go get a layup if we can. And if the defense stops you, the defense kind of tells you what to do. Then you need to stop and you need to kick it, and then it's kind of on from there. But we search for quality twos and open threes, and but sometimes the defense will be so good that it's hard to get them, and you have to find other ways. They'll lock out, not let you shoot threes, and so now it becomes, how are you going to get your twos? Do you cut? You see our guys cutting a lot. Like, that's something that's important to us. But every game's a little bit different based on how the defense, is trying to take you out.
You know, one or two more.
I got one quick one. I think we were up like 35. I don't remember what happened, but you got pretty fired up out there.
I can't remember what it was, but I do remember getting fired up. Oh, I know what it was. The block out. Yeah, it was the block out. Michael didn't get inside of the guy.
My question is, do you ever go home and does Lucia say, hey, did she ever say, hey, Ryan?
Yeah, she says, you need to chill a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, there's no question she does. She has to keep me in check, right? We all need that person in your life that'll keep you in check and let you know you're a madman. Yeah.
Anything else, guys?
Yeah.
All good?
You guys good? All righty. Take care. All right, guys.